Purchases Journal and Purchase Return Journal. Books of prime entry or special journals. Practice problem number 1 for all accounting students. According to Board of Intermediate Examination Karachi, Cambridge International Examination and IGCSE. Practice problem. Following transactions were completed by Alnoor traders during January 2022. January 1. Purchase goods from Hilal store $835. Invoice number is given. Purchase goods from Azad traders $222. Invoice number is given. The purchase of goods will be recorded in the purchase day book and return of goods to the supplier will be recorded in purchase return and allowance book. On 10th January again we are returning goods to Hilal store. Credit note number is given, amount is given. Purchase merchandise from Humaira via invoice number this for $186. This is purchase of goods. It will be recorded in purchases day book. 23rd January purchase goods from Khan traders. Again this is purchase of goods on credit from this supplier. It will be recorded in purchases day book. Goods returned to Humaira. We are returning goods to supplier. It will be recorded in purchase return day book. Requirement of the question is enter up the purchases day book and purchases return and allowance book. Second requirement is prepare the credit supplier's account in the purchases ledger. Third requirement is prepare the purchases account in the nominal journal ledger for the month. Let's start with the purchase day book and purchase return day book. This is how requirement 1 is to be done. Purchases day book specimen already discussed in introductory video is this one. These are the columns which we use. In date column the date of transaction will come. In the name column the name of the supplier from whom we are purchasing goods will come. Only purchase goods entries will be recorded in purchases journal. The return of goods entries will not be considered. They will be ignored while purchasing purchases day book. A page number could be assumed. Sometimes it's given in the question. It will help us for the reference. Therefore, we are using any imaginary page number. Invoice number given in the question with each transaction will be written in the invoice number. Purchase goods from Hilal store, the amount will come in the column of amount. Invoice number will come in the column of invoice number and Hilal store will come in the column of name. The date of the transaction will come in the date column. What is this folio? This folio is giving us the reference that the purchase ledger number 12 will be made for Hilal store. We will post this information in the ledger of Hilal store for requirement number 2. So again this PL stands for purchases ledger and this 12 is the number assumed by us for the ledger of Hilal store. Let's see second transaction. We are purchasing goods from Azad traders. Amount is given, invoice number is given. Let's enter it here. 2nd January, Azad traders, invoice number, amount. Again, this PL is purchases ledger 14. We are giving him any number. Sometimes these numbers are given in the question. If they are not given, we can assume any number other than these numbers which we had already used, and this will become a reference number of his ledger. The same information will be posted to the ledger of Azad traders as well. Let's see the next transaction. This is about return, so it will not be recorded in the purchases ledger. Yes, on 5th January we are again purchasing merchandise from Khan traders. Invoice number is given, amount is given. Khan traders, 5th January, invoice number, amount. Now again a new number for his ledger is to be given. Any number other than these two which we had already used. PL stands for purchase ledger of Khan traders. Let's see which transaction will come next. Again we have return of merchandise. Ignore this, it will not come in purchases journal. Number 18. Purchase merchandise from Humera. Amount is given, invoice number is given. Record the information, date will come, name of supplier will come, invoice number will come, amount will come, and again we'll assume any number for the ledger account of Humera. Let's see the next transaction. Purchase goods from Khan Traders, $768, invoice number is given. Khan Traders, this is the Khan Traders account. This is the wrong number. We should use the same number which we had given to the Khan Traders already. 25 should be the number which we had given to the Khan Traders. This is the same supplier. See, this is how the reference will help us when we are entering information to his account. Amount will come in the amount column. Invoice number will come in the invoice number. There is no other transaction in which goods are purchased. This is again the return of goods. Ignore this for purchases journal. After entering all transactions, we will find the total of amount column. When you will add all these amounts, you will get this total. It means our total credit purchases are $2,357. So this amount should be transferred to purchases journal ledger or purchases nominal account. We'll be focusing this amount while preparing the purchases ledger in requirement number 3. So keep this in mind. Let's now prepare the second book, purchases return and allowance book. As I told you earlier, the return of merchandise will be recorded in purchase return and allowance book. So we'll focus on those transactions which we had ignored while preparing the purchases book. Third transaction is about the return of merchandise. Then 10th transaction is merchandise return. Then 31 transaction is merchandise return. Note number will come, amount will come, the name of person will come. This is the purchase return and allowance journal, which is also known as return outward table. Dates will come, the names will come, the debit note numbers will come. As I told you, the return third to Azad Traders with this note number, this amount, right? The folio, what folio number we had given to Azad Traders? We had given him PL14, so the same purchase ledger 14 number we can use here. Do not use another number because one ledger for Azad Traders is to be prepared. Let's see what number we had given to Hilal store. To Hilal store we had given the number purchase ledger 12, so use the same folio for Hilal store. Amounts we had taken from question, debit note we had taken from question. For Humera we had used the folio number 39, so use the same number which you had assumed for Humera in the purchases book. Only 3 transactions given in the question about return, only 3 transactions, this one and this one. So now after completing the recording of transactions, let's find the total of amounts. When we'll sum up all these 3 amounts, we'll get $61. It means that $61 goods are returned to the suppliers in this month because they were either defective or not according to our requirement, or they were in excess. So this is the amount which will finally be transferred to return outward account or the purchase return account by us. Let's move to requirement number 2 now. In requirement 2 for the question, we have to prepare the purchases ledgers. We should keep this in mind that these purchases ledgers are actually trade payable ledgers of these people or the suppliers from whom we had purchased the goods or we had returned the goods. How to prepare it? The columns for these accounts are the same as we use in any journal ledger. What are those 2 columns? basically the debit side and the credit side, which we normally assume for any ledger. Date details folio amount, date details folio amount. Only this folio column is the new thing for you. This is actually a ledger account. This is actually the ledger account of Hilal store. This is actually the ledger account of trade payable of Hilal stores, which will tell us how much amount we owe to Hilal stores. The number we had assumed for him already could be given to him for cross reference. Purchase ledger 12 was the number which we had assumed for Hilal store. How to record information in this? Hilal store's trade payable account will be credited when we'll purchase goods from him. Hilal store's trade payable account will be debited when we will return them the goods. So the purchase of goods from Hilal store information could be taken from the purchases journal. We had purchased 835 goods from Hilal store. Because we are purchasing goods from him on credit, Hilal store's account will be credited because this is the trade payable account. When we are returning them the goods, which information we judged from the return journal, we had returned them $23 goods. So on this date January 10, this will come here in debit. As I told you, this is the trade payable account. So returning goods to them means a reduction in the liability, and purchasing goods on credit from them means increasing their account or increasing our liability. These were the only two transactions related to Hilal store. Nothing else will come in their ledger. Now let's do footing and balancing of this account. This PJ 45 tells from purchase journal page number 45, we posted this information here. If you remember, we had seen in the purchases journal that we had given it the page number 45, and RI return inward journal 32 is the page number given to the, this is return outward journal, so we should give him RO. We should give it RO. RO 32 is the page number of return outward journal. We had posted this amount from return outward journal. After doing this, we'll be finding the balance. How to find the balance? The total of greater side subtracting the total of lesser side will give us the balance. The balance carried down is to be written on the side which is lesser in total. Subtracting 23 from 835 will give you the balance. We'll write the balance on the side which is lesser in total. After writing the balance carried down, both sides will be equal. We will rule it off by putting double line. 835 is the same balance on both sides now. After ruling off the ledger, the carried down balance will become the brought down balance on the 1st of next month. So balance carried down is written on the side which is lesser in total. Balance brought down is written on the side which is greater in total. Balance carried down is written before rule off or total. Balance brought down is written after the rule off line. So this is how the trade payable of Hilal store will be prepared. Same will be done with other suppliers. Let's prepare Azad Traders account. We had given this number to purchase ledger 14 for Azad Traders. Whenever we are purchasing goods from Azad Traders, the trade payable of Azad Traders will be credit. Whenever we'll return goods to the supplier Azad Trader, the return will definitely decrease the liability account of Azad Traders. Again, we should give it the number RO, that is return outward journal, that we had picked it up from return outward journal. We had returned goods to Azad Traders. $15 goods were returned on January 3. So this is how the amount came here. Now we know that we had purchased goods of trip $222 from Azad traders. After returning goods of $15 to them, the balance which we still owe to them is $207. It will come on the side which is lesser in total. Both sides will become equal. The same balance carried down will become balance brought down. And this is how the trade payable account or the purchases ledger account of Azad traders will be prepared. We are still on requirement 2. The same is to be done with all the suppliers. Third supplier, Khan traders. We purchase goods 2 times from Azad Khan traders, January 5th and January 23. These are the amounts of the goods which we purchased from them. We had not returned any goods to them. So altogether we owe $1,114 to Khan traders. Adding the greater side, subtracting the lesser side, subtracting 0 from the greater side will give you the same balance. That will become your balance carried down. We'll rule off both the sides. Same balance carried down will become our balance brought down on the 1st of next month. We had given it this number. PJ means purchase journal. Nothing from return journal came to this. We posted the information from purchase journal only. Let's talk about Humaira's account. We purchased goods of $186 on January 18. We return her goods of $34. The information is given to us through return outward journal, which we posted here. Out of 186, goods of 34 are returned. We still owe $154 to Humaira. This is our balance carried down. Both sides will be equal. 154 carried down will become brought down on the 1st of next month. It means we still owe $186 to Humaira. Requirement 2 is complete. Now comes requirement 3. We have to prepare purchases account. If you remember in the purchases journal, I told you this is the total which will be posted to purchases account. So we are talking about this purchases account now. Let's go to the purchases account. We had entered the date. Again, the columns are same. We are talking about journal ledger. Only this folio column could be new to you. Debit side, credit side. Whenever purchases are to be done, they are recorded in the debit side. So we are posting this information from purchases book that $2,357 purchases were made by us. On January 31, the amount will come in the purchases account. Nothing will come in credit. The total of debit side is this. The credit side total is 0. Subtracting credit from debit will give you the same balance. It is your balance carried down. Total both the sides. The same carried down balance will become your brought down balance on the 1st of next month. This is how the purchases nominal ledger account for requirement number 3 will be prepared. Let's see the purchases return nominal account. Again, the same technique. We'll be posting the amount from our purchases return journal which we had prepared. These were the total returns. $61 goods were returned. We have to transfer this amount to return outward account. Let's see how to prepare the purchases return allowance account nominal ledger. The columns are same. This is the debit side. This is the credit side. Whenever purchases return and allowances are to be recorded, they come in the credit side. From purchase return journal PRJ 32, we had posted the amount 61. It will be recorded in the credit side. Nothing is in the debit side. Credit minus 0 will give you the balance carried down. Our both accounts will be same. Rule off. The rule off line is missing here. Okay. Balance brought down will come here on the 1st of next month to show that this is the balance of our purchases return and allowance account. That's all about the nominal ledgers. Requirement 3 is also complete. Like, subscribe, share Commerce Lecture Online.